The next stop for Marie and I was Hidcote Manor Garden near Chipping, Campden, Gloucestershire. Hidcote Manor Gardens is one of the great gardens of the UK. Under the care of the National Trust, Hidcote is the creation of American horticulturalist Major Lawrence Johnston, who traveled the world to bring the variety of plants you experience in the garden today. Agriculture ruled the day in the village of Hidcote Bartram until 1907. The manor house was built in the 17th century as a farmhouse. It passed through several hands before being inherited in early 1907 from the Freeman family by John Tucker, who had farmed there since 1873. Soon after, it was put up for auction and eventually bought by Johnston for £7,200, acting on his mother's behalf. It was advertised in June of 1907 as a valuable freehold farm comprising 287 acres with a very substantial and picturesque farmhouse and with lawns and large kitchen garden. Lawrence arrived at Hidcote in October 1907, his mother arriving from America in June 1908. The house was adapted to suit their requirements, with an extension being built. Lawrence, who had studied gardening books such as The Art and Craft of Garden Making by Thomas H. Mawson, began to develop the gardens from largely a blank canvas. From 1907 to 1914, he created the intimate garden rooms around the house, interrupted by the Great War in which he served. His mother bought the farm at the end of the village road in 1919, which expanded the gardens to their present boundaries. By the early 1920s, the garden design largely complete, Johnston turned his interest to plant hunting around the world. His motto was to plant the best forms of any plant. The gardens reached widespread critical acclaim and attracted many well-connected people in the 1920s and 30s. Lawrence was in his 70s in the 1940s when he put his mind to preserving the gardens for future generations. He approached the National Trust in 1943, and in 1948 they acquired Hidcote, the first garden of national importance, and it has been under their stewardship ever since. The National Trust is a charity started by 3 people in 1895 who saw the importance of preserving special places, including coastlines and farmland, to churches and archaeological sites, to gardens, and historic houses. They look after special places throughout the UK forever and everyone. For a number of years, the Trust's management policy has been to return Hidcote as close to a representation as possible of how it would have been in its heyday in 1930s. Today, approximately 175,000 people visit Hidcote every year, and entrance fees, donations, and legacies ensure the garden is maintained to a high standard and that the beauty that Lawrence Johnston created between 1907 and 1948 will be preserved. Hidcote is open to the public 7 days a week from March through October, and for weekends only from November and December and January through March. Gardeners curate this living artwork across the seasons to ensure visitors experience the garden as its creator would have wanted. If you can't make it to Hidcote in person, you can enjoy a 360-degree virtual tour on your computer. Hidcote Garden aims to be as environmentally friendly and sustainable as possible. All food waste from the catering outlets and generated by staff and volunteers is composted alongside as much garden material waste as possible. All compost used, not supplied by Hidcote, is 100% peat-free, and any plants that might need to be brought in are peat-free.
Thanks.
Before hitting the road, we stopped into the cafe for a snack. You can't visit England without having an egg and watercress sandwich, which I washed down with local wild elderflower bubbly. We bought a few plants for Marie, and for me, a few packs of seeds of the flowers I fell in love with. You'll notice a purple theme. My favorite, though, I didn't bring back. This exquisite version of columbine. Okay, I have to get some columbine. This is too stunning. Hopefully, I'll be back.
Beautiful. Oh, sorry. It's to come by. I think she's doing a video.